Hey guys, and welcome back for another episode of the Old Guy Farm Single Player Challenge. We are in episode 65. Hey Eli, and it is the 5th day of autumn in year 3. We have 8 game days left, including this day. So we are going to where are we at? We are going to run over to field 11, and let's hope that that field is fully grown. If not, we don't care. We're going to mow it anyway because we only have 2 days left to mow and bale. We have today, which we'll tackle field 11 on, and tomorrow, which we will do the big old field 26 again, and actually get 3 cuttings off of that field. That is the goal. So we probably won't get a super big yield off of field 26, but any yield is like a bonus at this point. So, late autumn, and it is dark at 6 o'clock. If you remember, just a few days ago, it was not so dark at 6 a.m. Let's go ahead and pick up our eggs. And while we're at it, we might as well take this load. We've got a full load of bales here. Might as well take this up to the where we've been storing our bales and drop them off. And I was talking about a great demand on wood chips, and I was talking about collecting all of our wood chips in the event that we would happen to have a great demand while we had snow, because we do have 2 consecutive days of snow in our forecast. Let's slow these trains down. Okay. So let's go ahead and look at the forecast here, and that is it. We now see all the weather that we're going to have to deal with for the rest of the game of this challenge. We have rain tomorrow, and rain the first day of winter. We have snow for day 2 and 3 of winter, and then we have sun, rain, and sun. So anything past anything looking at spring next year, we don't need to worry about, because we're not going to be playing it. It almost feels counterintuitive to not be worrying about weather, to actually be at a point where we can see the end game on this challenge. For so long, we've been just planning and thinking about what's next, and now we don't have to do that. We pretty much know what's next, and that is we're going to be done. So we have a great demand right now for wood chips, but it's not in our best interest to focus on wood chips at the moment. Our best interest is continue working these grass bales. Hey Ed, how you doing? A great demand for wheat. So I've been thinking about live streaming, and obviously we've gotten into quite the habit of live streaming with this challenge. I've been thinking about what's going to happen after this. You know, what are we going to do? And there's no denying that live streaming is fun. I still like to do recorded content. Let's see here, can we shift that over a little bit and dump them? There we go. That was pretty good. I'd say my preferred method of putting content out there is still recorded. To pre-record it, edit it up, because I mean, you all have stuck through countless hours of cutting trees and mowing and baling. But I can't fathom that Like, for example, the 24-day seasons play. I'm just now getting to day 10 of spring, and we're just now done plowing. So I can't really fathom that you all would want to sit through 13 hours of me plowing fields, or 12 hours of me planting fields before we get to anything else. So I'm thinking the 24-day map is really best served for me in recorded format. But with that said, I'm thinking about maybe doing some live streams of Churn Valley, which is the 24-day map, kind of as supplemental to the recorded content. All right, we're going to, while Field 11 isn't that far away, we are going to put the tractor on the flatbed just for the purpose of taking all three apparatus over there at one time. So like I said, I'm thinking about maybe starting after we're done this contest, bringing in on a regular schedule, maybe picking a day of the week, and that would be the day that I stream and do streaming of the 24-day map. Or I might pick something else that we just stream. I don't know. Let's drop that down a little bit. I better turn off these headlights or they're going to be glaring in my face. Oh, let's see here. Can I just call you Her? Hey, Her, how are you doing? That's quite a name there. I'm not sure how to pronounce any of that. All right, this is wider. We better take this as the lead and let our truck follow us. Forecast up. So like I said yesterday in our stream, there's really no incentive for me to get these bales off the field at this point because the grass is not going to grow back on these fields. It's going to die off and go into harvest. Well, it's going to stay in the state it's in come the first day of winter. Truck's getting through there just fine. Do we have any traffic coming? We do have some traffic, but let's hope that we can cross here without before it gets to us. Alright, we did that. Now here's the scary one. This train's I got a blind here. Alright, let's get across here. Alright, the grass is still not fully grown here, but we're going to mow it anyway. There's the train. We made it. Hey, Duck Zorly, how are you doing? I saw your video with your abomination of mowing. And that thing looks like it's awful to control. There I am. Completely completely messed up there. Well, if you can't unload the trailer, then let's just pull the trailer out from underneath the tractor. Needless to say, I don't think I'm going to be doing that particular mowing setup, because it looks like it's a terrible thing to try to control. So how's the Monday working out for you there? Alright, that's just so we have nice clean straight lines. Let's play with GPS a little bit. Hey Sean, how are you doing? So I'm trying to figure out what I want to do as far as streaming goes once this challenge is over. Thought about streaming some of the 24-day play, but the way it works out is we're going to still be predominantly recorded content on that, and I don't know if it's going to be confusing to people to be watching. Let's say, like for example, I just released episode 2 last Wednesday. Now, starting tomorrow, those episodes will be coming out every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So, for example, tomorrow we're going to have episode 3. But I'm working on right now episode 3, 4, 5. You know, I've recorded part of episode 7 a little bit ago. So I just don't know if it would be confusing to people to let's say do a live stream of what would be episode 8 content when episode 4 is been released, and if that would be too confusing to follow. Because what I would do would be, let's say, you know, I'd still do recorded content, but let's say I would be up to released episode, let's say episode 8 would have been aired, but then I do a live stream that really is like episode 14. The live stream would be archived until episode 14's normal release date, but while you're watching it live, you would basically see, you know, what will be coming out in like 2.5 weeks. So I don't know if that would be difficult or just disjointed. So that's why I'm kind of thinking not to do live streams of that. Basically, also because, like I said a little bit ago, in recording episode 7, I'm in game day 9, which is now mid-spring, and I just got done plowing. So it literally has taken me 9 game days to plow. And I think of those 9 game days, it's basically the equivalent of 13 game hours on the map. So unlike this challenge where everything has to be streamed, I don't think you all, or I don't think our viewers would be willing to sit through. Hey Dakota, how are you doing? I don't think viewers would be willing to sit through 13 hours of plowing, or heaven forbid 13 hours of cultivating and seeding before we're even 2/3 of the way done spring. So I'm really thinking the 24-day play is best served recorded, so we can time-lapse and speed up things and just edit out certain things that just you know, that happen, but they don't necessarily need to be shown. So that leaves maybe a different map for live streaming. We won't be live streaming every single day. That is for darn sure. I've had to put a fair bit of things on hold to get this challenge finished up. But there are some other things that I would like to do, obviously in the evenings that right now is being chewed up by live streaming. But I am thinking about setting aside a couple days a week as the live stream schedule, because I think folks would prefer to be on a schedule than to just have random live streams pop up. Let me know what you think in chat about those ideas. I can say, Sean, I appreciate your following. You've been following for quite a while, all the way back into the early days of Serenity Valley, it feels like. So if we live stream a different map, I'm just going to have to think a little bit about maybe what map that is, what kind of format we'll do. You know, what we do, it'll probably be involving seasons, because other than that, you know, without seasons, it seems just like you're going through the motions. And let's see if we can bump you out of the way. There we go. Without seasons, it just feels like you're going through the endless motions of planting, harvesting, planting, harvesting, and planting and harvesting. But we might try something other than 6 days, and we might try something other than 24. I'm doing 12 on a private save of Mountain Valley. Yeah, the chatting, the interactive at Life of Joven, how are you doing? The interactivity is definitely a perk to live stream over recorded. That is for sure on both ends. Obviously, during recorded content, you know, 13 hours to get to episode 7, let's say. That's 13 hours of me just doing my thing, talking to myself. Or not talking to myself and just thinking, okay, well, I've got music playing now, and I just mute the mic. Yeah, that's the idea, would be to come up with a scheduled day or days of streaming, and You know, I've got kids, so I would prefer to. I don't want to stream while they're awake. Not that I don't want them to be able to watch, but because I want to be free to interact with them should they wish to interact with me. So that's why we've been kind of starting at 9-ish, 9:30-ish each night. Life of Joven asks, is this map available to the public? And it is. I found out. I thought the map was. It used to be open and was available on a website to download, but then the map author pulled it from that particular site due to a conflict of opinion. And I thought at that point the map was in closed release. But what I found out yesterday is the link, the site that's in the description of this stream, which has the rules of the contest, still has the map available for download. So if you want to download this is a Goldcrest edit, and it's a very nice edit, I think. But it is basically a Goldcrest edit. So if you're on PC, you can download it and play it. It's downloadable at that website that's in the link in the description. Exactly, Ed. It's the oldest goes to bed whenever she wants. As long as she's asleep by the time I get up there, then I don't have any problems with it. She's 13. She's very responsible, and we don't have any issues with her not getting up to go to school or anything. The youngest is 3, so we try to get him to bed around 9 or 9:30-ish. Simply because we need to get him up and going with us to daycare when we leave for work. Alright, so our Baylor gave up. We were too far behind. Duck's kids go to bed early. They go to bed at 8:30. But then again, the clock runs backwards in Australia, so we don't really know how late 8:30 actually is. That might be like 12:30 in you know, the northern hemisphere. So we can probably expect this yield off of field 26. That would be my guess, is that we'll get some level of yield similar to this off of field 26. We technically mowed field 26 before this field, but it should be pretty much along the same growth pattern. So we're just going to go ahead and drive this over there. That's funny, Duck. The wife wants to sub you so that she can watch your videos to make sure you're not bad-mouthing her. Oh, Sean, don't get in trouble now. Don't blame me on your marital issues if you get caught. Oops. There we go. The other idea on live stream would be to get back into multiplayer play. There for a while I was doing live streams of multiplayer sessions with some fellow PCSG folks. So that might be an option. We would just need to try to figure out the timing on that. Right now there are some scheduled PCSG multiplayer sessions, but they're not when I'm going to be able to play. We've been batting the idea of kind of resurrecting the Three Dudes multiplayer server with kind of scheduled multiplays times. So this might be an opportunity to bring that back into a little bit more of an organized fashion. Waiting for the bail to eject, but it wasn't full yet. Another option would be maybe to do multiplayer with you guys. So multiplayer with you guys would be cool to get a group of the loyal Farmer Klein followers to join multiplayer with me during scheduled times. As Duck pointed out, the Three Dudes multiplayer server. Well, West Coast has been submitted, and I very much expect it to be on the Mod Hub before Wednesday. I very much expect the Giants will move that through testing fairly quick. So I have every confidence that we will that we'll be able to be playing West Coast come next weekend. Barring any unforeseen errors or issues as a result of it being released for console and PC. Well, I'd say if that's I'd say go, and if you're not a member over at Three Dudes, to go over there and sign up. because once that gets fleshed out a little more, there'll probably be a posting up there related to how to participate and basically maybe what scheduled times, because we batted around the idea of you know, having set times where you could come in and do multiplay with your favorite three dudes dude or duck, given Duck Zorly's now over there, and or a time where you could either participate or watch multiple three dudes all on the server, all doing whatever needs to be done, and possibly streaming multiple angles, kind of like DoughBoy's and Rubber Burner's streams, where our gameplay series, but you'd have 3 or 4 potential live streams of the exact same multiplayer server session, just obviously from different perspectives. So since we had such a low yield on this field, it looks like we're going to be done baling pretty quick. Over here. And I'm just going to want to do something first. There we go. Alrighty. It almost feels a little bittersweet doing these harvesting grass off of these fields for the last time. Kind of makes you look back and reflect about all the times that we've done it. I'd like to say that I'd missed this map, but that would be a lie. Not that I don't like playing this map, it's just that after 72 game days of mowing and logging, I'm ready for something completely different. And that's probably one of the reasons why I'm really enjoying the Churn Valley map. I thought there for a second I had a train coming, but that was just the light of the headlights on the tractor. So with it only being 2:30 in the afternoon, we got time to run around and pick up bales. And we got time to do a mission. So I think we'll do a mission. See if we can't find a harvest mission to just sit and auto drive, and then we can just chat it up. Alright, let's look here for a mission. What's this one? That one's harvested. What do they want? That's not enough money. This one's harvested. What do we got up here? Let's fertilize. What do we got over here? That's harvested. What we got here? That's been harvested. Have all these fields been harvested? Let's just check. Why are we even checking? Alright, so everything's been harvested on the map. That's interesting, because we were just here at field 5 and it was oh, look. They did a pretty bad job of harvesting there. Alright, so I guess we'll just do this mission. Somehow I think you'd have a bigger tractor than this. In real life. Alright, auto. There's no need for an offset. Let's move this over. Let's get to town. And we'll set up auto turn and we'll back this 15 meters-ish. Alright, that should be good. So I'll just let that run for a little bit. So, Churn Farm, that's a really fun map to play. Like I said, that's the map I'm doing the 24 days on. And I did not realize when I don't think I mentioned when I did the map video of that map, that those fields are difficult. Not just from the standpoint that they're not square. They're difficult because they got some serious terrain going on. They've got some pretty big slopes and angles and inclines. It is seriously a very, very fun map to play. It will be a very fun map to think about how you want to harvest a particular crop or how you want to bale a particular field and mow it with respect to the terrain. Not always is the best way of working the field the most desirable with respect to the terrain. I'm talking about Churn Farm. Like I said, when I did the map video, you really don't. I really sometimes have a hard time appreciating the way the land lays by just just looking at it from the camera perspective of doing a drive around or even driving through the fields. For the longest time, I thought a lot of these fields on Goldcrest Valley were flat, and just now, with this gameplay, I've been able to see more of the undulations on the fields, but they're still fairly flat. But yeah, Churn Mud Farm. That's right. There is a bit of mud on there, but we turn that off. And thankfully, it's fairly easy to turn off. But as I was saying, I didn't really appreciate it until I started plowing those fields and actually working the fields as to the difficulty level of those fields. There's one field in particular where it's got such an incline that even with a tractor that's got 100 extra horsepower based on the plow rating, so the plow I'm using requires 250. The tractor I used to plow was rated at 350, and it was pulling up the hill at like 3 miles an hour with the plow on the ground. Going down the hill was 9. It was doing fine going down. But on many fields, the desired way of doing your runs, you know, the longest run, the long direction, isn't necessarily the best way to doing it, because the long direction may be going straight up a hill. So going the short direction, which would be put you going across the incline, is actually possibly preferred. But then when you think about bringing a bale trailer around on that field, like with respect to if you're doing wheat or barley and you got straw bales, the inclines, if you're not careful, you could roll the trailer just making the wrong turn. Hey, Fabio, how are you doing? I'm doing pretty good. It's the end of a weekend and the start of what will be an insane week at work. I work at a college, and all of the students moved in this weekend. So tomorrow is going to be absolutely terrible, as will the rest of the week. So, Sean, are you talking about that churn didn't have industry? Because there isn't industry on there that I can think of. Yeah, they haven't Duck, but they've definitely released stuff this week. And I think the guy that updates that thread basically mentioned that there weren't going to be any updates during that week, the week of GameCon. But they've definitely released things like Oregon Springs that came out last week. There were several other mods that came out. There was an interesting mod that allows you to force unload a water trailer. I don't know if you could force unload a slurry tank or any other liquid, but it allows you to force unload a water trailer. But you know, to some sense, I think it really relies on what's ahead of it. But I really think that they're going to push to get that map out quick. But we'll have to see. It's all just kind of a guessing thing. Yeah, the Merlot that we use on this game is now released as a mod. Actually, it's released for all platforms. So there are a few changes from the mod that I'm using on this map to the Merlot that's released. But it's basically the exact same mod from the same people. Well, Spring Meadow came out, I think, toward the end of the week before GameCon. I can't fathom that there would be another update. So I think maybe they just didn't edit that out after they released it. Well, I'm really thinking that I don't think you really need industry to keep you busy, but if you don't do industry stuff, because part of the problem is like 15 times speed. If you don't dial back those fabric scripts, they're going to be producing pallets like before you can even get your pallet off the thing and over to storage. But like I said earlier, I'm in day 9 of spring, and I just finished plowing my last field, and that was with a 10-meter plow. So it took me basically 8 game days, because well, 7 game days. We didn't plow until day 3. So I think you're going to see the first plowing episode tomorrow, because I think the only thing that we did, hey Darren, I think the only thing we did in episode 2 was manure. And it took us 8 days to do manure work. It took us 9 days up to day 9 of spring to do our plowing work. This coming Friday you'll see us plant potatoes. So it's taken me 8 days before I got anything in the ground. And now I've got 16 days to plant, or to cultivate and plant everything else. And to some degree, my soil temp is at 41 degrees, so it's not like it's warmed up too terrible much. Anyway, so for me it's about figuring out the size of equipment such that you're not blasting through the field super quick, and that you're pacing yourself. Like Darren said in chat, cultivating just for the fact of cultivating, not that it's necessarily needed, because the seeder you have won't seed on a plowed field. But cultivating because, well, what else are you going to do? You might as well do it. You got time. Because if you blast through and get everything seeded, and it's like day 16 of spring, now you're looking for how you're going to occupy yourself for 8 days. And without industry and without animals, well, the animals only do so much for you. There's not much to keep you busy other than going up into the trees. Fabio asked, do I have more maps with Seasons mod to review? There are 2 coming out this week, or both Seasons maps. And Sean, if you like industry, then you are going to fall over with joy on the map that's coming out on Tuesday. Let's just say that it's chocked full of industry. It's almost like a European Serenity Valley 2, with maybe some more industry, and it's very, very well done. So that's coming out Tuesday. That map is Seasons prepared. Thursday is a very big treat. Thursday is an exhaustive look at Upper Mississippi River Valley. And the reason I say it's exhaustive, because it's a 2-hour, 2-part video. So I got part of the way through the map and realized that I already had about an hour and 15 minutes worth of video. So I chunked that into part 1. And then I did the second part, which itself is about an hour long. Now that map is in beta, and as of this moment, the map had been taken down for some tweaking and additions. But that map will be coming back soon, and the map video I did will hold up fairly well. But that map is so far the quintessential American map that I have seen. So there are 2 maps this week that do have Seasoned Snowmask in them that are coming out. So if you oh, let's finish this field off, buddy. You can't do 90% of the job and then stop. Of course, when West Coast comes out, that will be fully seasons ready. It has been uploaded to the mod hub, so now it's just a matter of waiting on Giants to do their thing. Alright, so that's that. Here's the Merlot that is in the in-game mod hub. There's just a few things that so this creepy guy, which is not your standard farmer, he's not in the Merlot that's in the mod hub. He's kind of creepy looking too. He's got some bug eyes, and if you look down, he's got some scarring. I don't think he might be into that. He's got some scarring on his arms. Kind of dirty guy, but anyway, he's not in there. And 8. I don't think you can open and close the doors or the windows on the one that's in the mod hub, because that's been made for seasons compatibility. And I don't know if you can do this. We learned this the other day. We had to open that and service the engine. So I don't know if you can do that with the in-game mod hub. But beyond that, it's the exact same mod. Where are we at? Alright. Let's pick some bales up while we wait for the day to end. We still got a fair number of bales off this field. Darren's got a very nice map that really is just waiting on the original mod author team to okay it, and that'll be a nice map once and if it ever gets okayed for release. I wonder if we'll get 42 off of this field. That'd be cool if we did get a full load. Oh no. Better get that bale before it rolls off into the water. Hey DoughBoy, how are you doing? I got partway through your stream. I heard about your house fire fight. I did just get done recording the video on that map. That's probably what I was doing while... no, I was doing that earlier today. That's not what I was doing while you started your stream. But I did notice the very, very big lack of green. And I'm interested in that culti plow you were using. Does it come in different widths? Almost 42. We got 40 bales off of here. Alright, let's go pick up 2 more bales and then send this up to the hill. We can show DoughBoy our collection of bales if he's still around. Alright, I'll go look at that over at PCSG. In fact, I think I've been thinking about a live stream map since we're about done with this thing. And I've been batting some ideas around, but you know, Sean's comment about a map with a little bit of industry, it made me start to think I just might live stream the map that's coming out on Tuesday's video. It has it definitely has industry, and it is a wonderful map in my opinion. So I might just might do that. Oh, we'll just dump the bales there. Oh, we're making a mess of things. That's my wonderful collection of silage bales, everybody. And we're still adding to it. We still have one more day to bale. Well, get to sleep there, DoughBoy. You got a lot of driving ahead of you and everything. Well, my only advice to you on the 24 days is going to be pace yourself. Don't get too big of equipment and tackle your fields too quickly. I didn't pay any attention to how many fields you have at the start, if you added some extra fields or not. You know, with the map I'm using, I had, I think, 10 fields at the start, and I'm up to game day 9, and I just got done plowing in the afternoon of game day 9. So I have another 16 days or so to cultivate and seed everything. And I was going to use some big seeders, but I decided that it would probably be in my best interest to use the 6 meter seeders that came with the map, because if it takes me about a day to seed each field, or if some fields take a little more than a day, well, I'm up to day 19 now, and that still leaves me with 5 days left to do other things. So just figure out how many fields you've got, figure out what steps you want to get done in spring as far as your planting, your seeding, your plowing, your fertilizing and whatnot. And then just figure out if you were going to be on schedule to do it all in 24 days. What would you have to accomplish in each day? And try to do no more than that. Because if you get done too soon, then you're going to be kind of like Rubber Burner and doing forestry for 12 days out of 24. And that'll get old. So you don't want to do that. Could have picked some grass up there. Yep, that's a good point. I mean, what I've done is, typically I don't do manure, but it took me 8 days to do manure. And I've only got 2 tractors, and I've only ever full. Okay, I've got 2 tractors, and I only have hired one worker. I don't have a rule. I'm not trying to restrict myself or anything like that, but again, from the pace of getting things done, I figured I really don't need more than 2 tractors, and I really don't need more than 1 hired worker at any one point in time at this point. Fabio's asking, are we going to sell the bales? Yes, we are. That's the whole purpose of the challenge, is to make money. And we'll be holding on to all of these bales until the 3rd day of winter. And that is because the 3rd day of winter is when we get the best price for our silage bales. So in hard mode with seasons, the best price is $1,087 per bale. So we're going to shoot for obviously getting the best price we can. So we're just collecting bales and letting them sit. Selling them before the 3rd day of winter is just like leaving money on the table. So we might as well get as much money as we can. We haven't made any real money other than off of our greenhouses since the 4th day of spring. We've just been banking all our money in the greenhouse, in the bales. I had a goal of 1,000 bales to make this year, and if we make 1,000 bales, we'll basically earn almost 1.1 million in bale sales. That'll be a nice payday. I don't know if DoughBoy's still around, but I'll have to ask him later or watch the rest of the stream to see if he mentions if you put a the Midwest Geo mod in, or if you put some other mod in. Because I don't think Oregon would work with the Midwest Geo. I think Oregon's temperature would be a bit colder, and I think they would be a bit wetter than maybe the Midwest Geo would portray. But it does make me wonder if maybe one of the European Geos would work for Oregon. like the Wales geo that I'm using for Churn Farms. I know they say like Washington State gets a ton of rain all the time, and Oregon's just below Washington State, so it might be about right. I don't know. So if you didn't know that this field was slanted, obviously you can tell that the bales like to roll down the hill. Because again, speaking of getting things done quickly, on Churn Farms, I'm in day 9 and I still only have a ground temp of 41 degrees. But that's because your temperature doesn't change that quickly with 24-day seasons. You know, it can change pretty quick with 6-day seasons, but with 24 days, it takes you well, basically 4 times as long for the temperature to change. There's a barrel. All right, there's another 42. All right, Sean, I'll catch you later. He's probably already left, but at any rate. There is a map that was just released. I'm not going to give you the name of the map because I don't want to badmouth the guy. But so this map was just released, and the download includes a geo for the supposedly a geo for the region that the map is to portray, but the map doesn't have a snow mask in it. So I thought it was a little odd that the guy would go to the efforts of making a custom geo for seasons to portray the area's temperature and weather and crop growth patterns and such, but wouldn't put a snow mask on the map. So I just thought that was a little odd that you would go to one extent to do a bunch of extra work for seasons, but you wouldn't go all the way and put a snow mask in the map. Because without a snow mask, then seasons works about 3/4 of what it could do. For those that don't know, the snow mask is what tells seasons where what is inside and what is outside. So without a snow mask, the bales don't rot, or at least hay and straw doesn't rot. Grass will rot no matter what. And in addition, during the winter, you only have 1 layer of snow. So like where Grizzly Bear Sims had a pretty bad winter, there had a little frame problem with all those bales. But I got 60 frames with all these bales. We're doing pretty good. Where Grizzly Bear Sims had a really bad hard winter, his first winter. Yeah, I don't. Who knows how many layers of snow he had, but it was. He had roads, and he was completely unable to go anywhere with anything other than the Scorpion King. But without a snow mask, you'll never get more than 1 layer of snow. It could snow 6 days of winter, 6 consecutive days nonstop, and you'd only ever have 1 layer of snow. Or I have to wait again. So we're going to pick the rest of these bales up, and then we're going to call this a stream. What's my favorite map so far? Well, that's a loaded question. That is a very loaded question. I was deeply in love with Kleinhau. That map is just absolutely stunningly beautiful. For a map that doesn't have seasons, that map was put out long before seasons was a thing. It's a very beautiful, very stunning map in the mountainous region of Germany. The fact that it's got little informational placards all over the place that give you, a real sense of being there. It's got stuff. Apparently, that area was part of the war, and so there was informational placards about the war and everything. That map means a lot to me, and I like the map. Then you've got Serenity Valley. Love that map. Loved it enough to put about 170 hours on it with a Let's Play series. You've got, there's a map that I played a little bit called Saxonia. I like that map a lot. It's a 4X map. It's got a lot of industry. There's a map coming out called Nicolandia Director's Cut. That's the map that the video is coming out on Tuesday for. I like that map a lot. I like Churn Valley. That's the one that we're doing a series on for 24 days. I like the prospects of Upper Mississippi River Valley. That map's got a lot of promise. It's still beta, so I don't want to give final judgment, but that map has got me excited for its prospects. Like I said, there's a lot of maps. I don't really have one particular favorite. Alright, so we're going to save here. What time is it? It is 8:40. We got plenty of time to just look around a little bit and think. So I think our wood chips is off of great demand. It is. It's 262 though. Too bad we can't pick up some wood chips real quick. We should have held on to our wool. I was a little worried that our wool price wouldn't get very high compared to what it's been, so we got rid of our wool a couple days ago. As you can see, we've been earning about $30,000 a day in various income. 113,000. We must have sold something that day. That's when we sold our wool. So when we can make a payday of over $1 million when we sell our bales, that'll be something special. Right now we've made 34 today, so we didn't really get that many bales off of that field 11. We've got 1,789 total bales, so I think we are over 1,000, which was what our goal was. We've got 132 eggs. We could go ahead and sell our eggs. Get a little money off of our eggs. So where are we at? No, we gotta go this way. Hey Max, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. We're about to close out though. Alright, $752. Not a bad payday. Alright, so we're going to save here. We're going to skip the night. It's raining. So we're just going to run down here and check out the grass field here that we're going to mow today. think we're mowing. That does not look... I don't think we're going to get 3 cuts off of this field, everybody. I'm just going to cut a little sample strip and see what we get. But I don't think we're going to get anything. We might be done. We're done. All right, we're not mowing tomorrow. I'll have to come up with a new strategy for tomorrow, but it's not going to be mowing. Let's check and see what our wood chips are. They're probably bottomed out in price. That would be my luck. $2.90 and dropping. Well, tomorrow we're going to be picking up wood chips because we're not mailing. We have run out of grass to bale. We are done. No more mowing, no more baling. That's over with. So tomorrow we will pick up wood chips, and then we'll be moving into our winter money making, which is forestry. So with that, thanks for watching and coming out. We have 7 more days of streaming until this challenge is over. So we are going to try to stream every day this week and Saturday, and mark your calendars. Sunday will be the final stream for this challenge, September 3rd. And my goal is to top $6 million on that day, and we'll just have to see if that happens or not. So until next time, guys, happy farming.